Ethel, I'll just tell you when it's live on YouTube, and then you can.
Yes, we are live on YouTube.
Shreyas, has it come on YouTube?
We are live on YouTube.
You can see the link, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shreyas, can you see it live on YouTube now?
Yes.
Okay, let's start, Ethel.
Hello everyone, welcome to the inaugural of Raising a Mathematician Training Program 2021. I'm Hetal and I will be your host for today. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. Let us begin this event by invoking the blessings of God, and I would like to invite Sindhu to say a prayer.
करतलवीणाधारिणी हंसवाहिनी सरस्वती अक्षरमालाधारिणी विद्यादायिनी सरस्वती वरप्रदायिनी वाग्विलासिनी नाद वेदकला प्रकाशिनी सरोजनयनी पुस्तकपाणि कामितदायिनी शुभदायिनी करतलवीणाधारिणी हंसवाहिनी सरस्वती.
Thank you, Sindhu. So as most of you know, Raising a Mathematician Training Program is a 7-day program for math enthusiasts between the age group of 13 to 15. These students come from different parts of the country and they speak diverse languages. But the one language that binds them together is the language of mathematics. They have signed up for this 7-day roller coaster ride where they will explore the world of mathematics with a whole new perspective. Let me introduce Dr. Hariharan to you, who will talk more about the program. Dr. Hariharan is a co-founder and head of academic affairs at Raising a Mathematician Foundation. He finished his PhD in management accounting from Michigan State University, and he'll be joining Frankfurt School of Finance and Management as an assistant professor. His research has been published in prestigious journals like Journal of Accounting and Economics. He received the Deloitte Accounting Doctoral Fellowship, and it is awarded only to 10 accounting doctoral students every year. He cleared the Certified Management Accounting exams with the highest score in the world in 2017. He also cleared his Chartered Accounting exam with an All India rank in the foundation and the intermediate exams. Welcome, Dr. Hariharan, and over to you.
Thank you, Hetal, for that kind introduction. So I would like to give you an overview of what the Raising a Mathematician Training Program is all about. We started this program in 2014. So this is the 8th annual program that we are conducting. And every year this program happens as a residential workshop. And last 5 years or first 6 years, we did this program in Ramratna Vidya Mandir in Mumbai, which is a residential school. And 2020 onwards, we plan to do it at Chennai Mathematical Institute. But unfortunately, because of the current situation, we are doing this program online. One of the main reasons why we thought about this program is if you think about various sports, and one of the key factors for the sports person to be excellent in their sport is because they are starting young, and they persevere and work hard right from the initial stages of their life. But when it comes to academia or when it comes to academics, it seems like we tend to think that there is a lot of time available, and we tend to miss out on opportunities for these students when they are young. And a lot of mathematicians we know have done excellent work in their life when they were young. And 13 to 15 is the age group when they have excelled in the field of mathematics and built on that foundation that was created and done some excellent work when they're in their young age. So we want to catch the students young when they will be able to absorb knowledge. Like we know that the minds of young students are like a sponge and they can absorb anything that we throw at them. And with that intention, this 6 days workshop has been designed to explore the various areas within mathematics and also give them a perspective of applied areas like computer science, economics, psychology, and how they can be combined together with mathematics. So the idea is that these students will explore these areas even after the completion of this 7 days workshop, because unless and until you spend time after this workshop is concluded, this workshop will not yield the fruits that it is supposed to yield. And with that objective, we have invited various speakers and professors from all over the world. So we want to give you a perspective of faculty who are in India and the faculty who are in abroad. And that way, we are able to address the skills gap that exists in the current situation. Remember that the world is changing at a very fast pace, and therefore the demand for the skills are changing extremely rapidly, whereas the supply of skills is not changing at the same pace at which the demand is changing. And raising a mathematician training program is an attempt to bridge this gap at a very young age for these students. I welcome you all for this Raising a Mathematician training program and look forward to working with you over the next 7 days.
Thank you, Dr. Hariharan. All right, now it is time to introduce our chief guest. Anand sir, when I was preparing for your introduction, I realized that there is so much to talk about you that my words can never do justice. So we have put together a little something for you, and I'm going to share my screen here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Vishwanathan Anand, fondly known as Vishwanathan or Anand, was born on December 11, 1969. His interest in chess was developed by his mother, who also belonged to a family of chess players. By the time he was 14, Anand had won the Indian National Sub-Junior Championship with a perfect score of 9 wins in the 9 games. At 15, he became the youngest Indian to earn the International Master title in 1985. Everyone remembers 1991 for the disintegration of Soviet Union. The same year, the dominance of Soviet Union in chess was challenged by Vishy. He not only won the tournament, but also defeated the 6-time world champion Garry Kasparov and managed to draw against 6-time world champion Anatoly Karpov, who he considered his idol during initial years. He is one of the few players to have surpassed an ELO rating of 2,800, a feat he first achieved in 2006. He has made our country proud by winning the World Chess Championship not 1, not 2, but 5 times, and he was the undisputed world number 1 from 2007 to 2013. With the rise of young chess players like Magnus Carlsen, critics had started discounting Anand, but he proved them wrong by winning the World Rapid Championship in Riyadh in 2017, which clearly shows his perseverance and passion for the game. Did you know that he is the only player to have won the title in 3 different styles? Talking about the honors and awards, Anand won the first ever Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, India's highest sporting honor. He has been conferred with prestigious awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and in 2007, he became the first sports person to receive the Padma Vibhushan. Want a little fun fact? A minor planet in the solar system was named Vishy Anand. What an honor for the planet. Anand has been tagged as one-man chess industry for India. After becoming the first Indian chess grandmaster in 1988, he has inspired 64 young grandmasters till today. Clearly, he is single-handedly responsible for setting off the name of his country in the field of chess. Anand is a very likable champion, not only by his fans all over the world, but also by his opponents. His feats are sky high, but his feet remain grounded. We at Raising a Mathematician Foundation are extremely honored to have this genius inspire the young Ramanujans of this program.
Thank you so much, Anand sir, for blessing this event by your presence. And we are looking forward to hearing your message for all of us. Over to you.
Sorry,
that you're doing it.
sorry, your audio.
Like many youngsters in India, I was, let's say, my curiosity in mathematics was piqued by, amongst other things, by Ramanujan, reading about him and the fascinating work he did. But more interestingly, that he did it without any formal training. He seemed to really come out of the blue. That kind of mirrors my experience in chess as well. And I have come to believe that both chess and mathematics are in a sense languages. Now, of course, you can study them formally. That is one way to get better. But my growth in chess was simply playing a lot. I would play 5-minute games in the club over and over again. And the dots just started to connect for me. I started to feel things. And when I read his story, I could see how the same thing seemed to happen in mathematics for him. Chess has a long history of producing prodigies. It seems that you're tuned to understanding and feeling your way in the chessboard very young. And in fact, you can do it intuitively. So chess historically has had these 6-year-olds, these 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds doing amazing stuff, giving simultaneous displays, playing a good game against a grandmaster and so on. There's a similar phenomenon in mathematics. I believe that in maths as well, most of the really beautiful work you do for the greatest mathematicians happens at a young age. Certainly, a lot of people think, oh, but chess, there's no age requirement. And probably they think that in maths as well. But in both cases, I think that an early head start actually matters a lot. And so I'm very happy to support the work of Raising a Mathematical Foundation. Of course, it's probably a play on the word foundation, but I think the same, whether it's a foundation in chess or a foundation in maths, it's best to start it early when it's like a child picking up a language, rather than much later when it's like an adult picking up a language. The two processes are very different. And the other thing is, it seemed to me that once upon a time that maths was something slightly remote. I mean, I was fascinated by the subject. And of course, in school, you read about interest rates and bank accounts, and you calculate your compound interest formula and whatever, and you think, well, okay, that's the connection. But once I got into chess, I really didn't see the mathematical connection for a long time. For me, it seemed a game where you understand different areas of the game and you get better at it. But very soon, the world of computers collided with chess. And initially, there was a lot of, every once in a while, you would hear some fans talk about how they tried to find the best move by data, by simply looking at the statistics. And I just thought, well, but these are statistics of bad games. I mean, I had this attitude. We should think of my attitude 30 years back. But anyway, I had this attitude that, yes, this is all very well. These are weak chess players trying to guess what the best move is by looking at lots of games, and it doesn't matter. But they were right. And it's because of, over time, as the number of games that were being stored kept increasing, and once computers could learn to play chess, then you don't need a very advanced understanding of mathematics, but you need some understanding. You need some familiarity of the subject to see the way you're being impacted. And by the way, this is probably an experience all of us in any walk of life have had, that math seems to be in the background of everything we do. And it's severely affecting the way we carry out our professions. No matter which profession it is, the role of maths is increasing. And young people who take up chess, they're not intimidated by it anymore. They grow up thinking, well, maybe I didn't get as good as I wanted to be, but I know the chessboard. I know how the pieces go. And when I see a game played by the best players, I can understand where they're coming from. And that's it. But and for many years, I never understood when people would tell me, oh, I can't play chess at all. It's something weird. And I never understood this attitude, but it's real. It's this intimidation you have by seeing something feels familiar in a language that feels unfamiliar. So we also have our chess notation, by the way. So it dominates. And if you see two chess players talking to each other, they'll just go on, if this knight goes there. And so I think for maths and chess are both best learned when they're very young. Even if you don't pursue them, they produce a lot of useful skills. And by the way, maths much more than chess. And they give you a sense of how the world works. Later on, you'll recognize all sorts of the way that maths affects life. And if you had read about it when you were young and you're not intimidated by the subject, then you're much more likely to just treat it as a normal phenomenon and benefit from it. The other thing is, in fact, in chess, while I said that chess is becoming more influenced by maths, you can still become a very good player without approaching it in that way. But knowing what's going on is much more important. Now, you don't need to know how to be able to put, solve every formula or work out every problem. But if someone else is doing it, you should be able to understand what is going on. That is the vital part of getting maths out there. Of course, if we start a subject, you want to be the best in it and you want to be very good at it. But even more than that, a general familiarity is very important. And you can learn chess like this. You can learn chess by watching a player describe what he thought during a game. Just gives you his intuitive sense of what happened and say this is. It's like that in maths. Obviously, I was interested in the subject. I would read up a lot on it, but I never got into it very seriously. And there were a lot of concepts that remained inaccessible to me. I mean, if you read about other people, you still follow, but you're following it at a different level. But recently, both chess and maths have benefited from graphics. It is possible to convey visually what is happening, and then you understand it much better. I think you'll be surprised if you then thought you understood enough to solve it. It's true of both chess and maths. But chess is benefiting worldwide from much larger audiences because we are able to show the chess game and have commentators explain what is going on. And people follow, even if they don't know it very well. Once they see the connection, okay, so this was the threat and that's what's happening. And by the way, I have enjoyed going through videos in mathematics of concepts which were once a bit scary for me. I can, if I watch a video on Riemann's hypothesis or complex numbers or this or that, I enjoy it because it's brought home very nicely to me. And you always discover, oh my God, I didn't realize this is where that connection comes from. Math has a lot of deep connections in its foundation, and that's the real benefit. So long talk about it, but I basically feel that it is excellent for young children to be exposed to mathematics very young. It's about them learning that there's a language, learning to get familiar with it and to lose that intimidation. Even more than chess, I think the number of people who say, oh, but I hated maths in school, I failed maths in school, is much higher. Maybe it was a thing of a previous generation, but nonetheless, it was even more than chess, the number of people who say, oh, that scares me. And that's the most important thing. You get familiar with very, very difficult concepts that can become difficult. And if you become familiar with them easily, then they're accessible all your life. And we all benefit from this. So just to wrap up, chess did become like that. Those players who were not very strong, but had some mathematical understanding, actually saw the future very well. Nowadays, all we do is look at statistics. We let a computer stay for so long, we see what depth it's going to and we find the best moves because that is turning out to be the best method. You can do that without, you can come to it from all different ways, but if you had seen it coming and you understand how it's happening, then you spot it early. And that's going to be the case for the foreseeable future in all walks of life. And so I want to fully support, and I hope a lot of parents take this opportunity to use this summer camp and the mission that the foundation is doing. So all the very best.
Thank you so much, Anand sir, for explaining us the importance of starting early and also how maths and chess are interrelated. Thank you so much for your message. So many takeaways from your message. Next, I have the privilege to introduce Samir Shuklaji, who is an executive director at Nielsen IQ. He is also the social and environment responsibility lead. In his career spanning more than 2 decades at Nielsen, Samirji has held several leadership roles in different regions, including Nepal, Southeast Asia, and India. He's management postgraduate from IIFM and has a postgraduate program and his postgraduate program in artificial intelligence from University of Texas at Austin. And he's an executive black belt in his business process improvement. Welcome, Samirji, and thank you for being here. Over to you.
Thank you, Hital. Good morning, young students, young Ramanujam, I would say. And thank you, Ram Foundation, for being a great, host for this 7-day training program. And at Nielsen IQ, we are very, very happy and privileged that we are being associated with this program, which is running for the last 8 years. So I was listening to the celebrity in the room, Vishy, and he has been an inspiration for many of us, including myself. And like they say, talking after a celebrity like Vishy is like if it was a TRP rating, wo dhak karke niche gir gaya. So, and I'm bringing this TRP point because that's one of the flagship products that Nielsen has. young students, you would have heard about television rating points. So Nielsen is a pioneer in bringing some of these terms to enterprise. So like TRP is for television. Similarly, market share is for various enterprise that one operates in, whether it is say consumer products, durables, banking, or any other services, right? So Nielsen IQ is one of the leading marketing research company in the world. We have operations in over 90 countries. Almost the entire world population is what we covered through our services. And we do work very, very closely with various businesses and also a lot of social enterprise with the government, with the UN, with international NGOs, and so on and so forth. Now, most of the work that we do is for profit, and we do support for-profit organizations. But these are some of those real happy moments where we are working with a not-for-profit kind of organization and initiative. So very, very happy to be associated with this program. Now, I'll try to be very short, but just talk about 3 points that maybe I thought would be good as you say are embarking on this journey. The first one is each one of you, and probably 100 of you, you're very, very, very privileged. You're privileged not only because the kind of aptitude that you possess, and because of that, you are a part of this program. You've been screened in, you have earned this position to be a part of this group. So very, very privileged. Also, you're privileged because you have a gadget where you can use this gadget to go through this virtual, say, training program for 7 days. There are not many people who have got all these privileges. So since you have the privilege and you have earned this kind of position, take full utilization of this opportunity. It can be a game changer. You are young teens, 13 years, 15 years, and we could see, I mean, Vishy had an international Grandmaster at the age of 15. So that's an inspiration that you should draw. The second point, which is equally important, is you would be exposed to various new things, concepts, way of thinking, and so on and so forth in the coming 7 days or so. One way to look at it is to gain knowledge and be aware of various things that are happening in the world, some of the things that you may have heard about, read about, but you will be hearing from the real great masters in India and abroad. So awareness is very, very important. But equally important is to shift that knowledge to logical thinking. So awareness or knowledge is not or should not be limited to only getting good marks in your exams. But more importantly, you should try and put that to a real building of point of view, and that should convert into applications. So awareness, logical thinking, and then application. This application could be in various fields. You can think of small innovation, and the small innovation baby steps will lead to maybe bigger innovations as you become, say, more mature in your life. It could be for innovations. It could be for various social causes that you see around you. It could also be for big enterprises. So that continuum of knowledge, logical thinking, and application, that's very, very important. And you should always challenge yourself, ask questions, be inquisitive to gain more and more exposure towards this entire continuum. The third and the last thing I would like to say here is it's a great platform. And I'm sure most of you, if not all, would be getting this kind of diverse platform for the first time in your life. It's a great opportunity. Apart from learning from your faculty members, the great mathematicians from various parts of the world, you should also learn from each other. It's a great platform to network. I'm sure by the time you finish this 6-year program, 6 days program, you would be having 100-odd new friends to work and interact with going forward too. With that, I would like to just again thank Vinay, the Ram Foundation, and all, say, dignitaries who would be working closely with this young budding talent for the next couple of days. All the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sameerji, for your words of wisdom. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Madhavan. Dr. Madhavan is the Director and Dean of Studies at Chennai Mathematical Institute, which is a research and educational institute in Chennai. He has served as the President of Indian Association for Research in Computing Science for 8 years, and also as the President of Association of Computing Machinery for 2 years. He was elected as the Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences in 2018. He has been the leader of the Indian team for the International Olympiad for Informatics for numerous years. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Madhavan to this event.
Thank you, Hetal, and thank you, Vinay, and everybody else at the Ram Foundation. It's a pleasure for me in particular and CMI in general to be a part of this exciting thing. As was mentioned, this should have been physically at CMI last year and this year, but circumstances have intervened. So this is a substitute, not an ideal substitute, but I hope that it will come back to a physical event next year and we'll be able to see some of you again next year and some new faces as well. So a few words about CMI. So CMI is now about 30 years old. It's an academic institution specializing in broadly in mathematics, but as Anand said, our mathematics is not just a single subject. It spans a lot of applications. So we also, from the beginning, we have had computer science as one of the subjects at CMI, and later on we added physics. And more recently, we have embraced the topic that Anand talked about, which is data science, which is machine learning and how we can build systems which learn from data and mathematical models that learn from data. So CMI has been evolving very much as mathematics has been evolving. So mathematics is something which, as Anand said, I think has to be absorbed as early as possible. And people have to understand, and students have to understand, that there are many different aspects of mathematics. So in fact, when we started CMI, we only had a PhD program, which is at the higher end of the age spectrum in terms of getting students in mathematics. And soon we realized that in order to get good PhD students, of course, you need good master students. In order to get good master students, you need good bachelor students. And there is no easy way to do this unless you jump into it yourselves. So we moved down this hierarchy and we started a BSc program about 20 years ago and a master's program at the same time. And this has been very exciting for us, and also I think for students in the area who have found this to be an excellent opportunity to explore their interest in mathematics. So of course, logically speaking, we should go down and also start school programs in mathematics, but that of course is a very different angle. So what we have been doing is to support activities at school level to bring people into mathematics, and this is precisely the kind of work that the Ram Foundation is doing. So there should be many more such foundations, and we would be happy to support as many as we can. But for the moment, we support the Ram Foundation. We work actively in some of the Olympiad programs, and our goal is to try and bring in students as much as possible. Now, one of the things that all of us who have studied in school know is that the mathematics that we learn in school has a kind of limitation in terms of what understanding it conveys of the subject. All of us have grown up with this idea and been told by our parents and grandparents that mathematics is actually something to do with calculating fast and accurately, right? So everybody says, oh, this person knows his multiplication tables if they are at a certain age, or this person can, compute square roots. So of course, mathematics is much more profound than just this kind of facility with calculations. And as you get into mathematics at a more advanced level, you realize that it's really it's about formalizing structure in various things. So there's a very famous article from about 50 years ago by a Nobel Prize winning physicist called The Unreasonable Effectiveness of Mathematics in the Natural Sciences. And his question was why it is that mathematics is the way to convey most of the important ideas. And I think today we have the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in the world around us, right? As Anand has pointed out, we cannot escape the fact that around us, decisions are being taken based on mathematical principles. So we have recommendations coming to us when you do online shopping. We have things like medical diagnosis being done by automated analysis of medical images. We have self-driving cars coming up in the future, as people would keep reminding us. We have electronic currencies. Okay, and of course, even the kind of work we do on the internet relies on internet search, and Google was born from a mathematical idea. I mean, the reason why Google became Google is because it had better mathematics behind it than traditional technology. So CMI is quite proud to have recognized 30 years ago that computer science was actually mathematics and not technology. And we continue to live by that. And so as you go through this program and as you appreciate different aspects of mathematics, you'll be drawn to some areas more than others. And this is natural. And your taste will also evolve as you delve deeper into the subject. So the nice thing about mathematics is that it is not static. It is evolving. There is room for a lot of different types of thinking in mathematics, from the very abstract, where you work in very fundamental topics which are difficult to even explain to people who are not that adept at this, to very concrete applications. As somebody mentioned, you have applications in economics, you have applications all around us, right? So computing is a very obvious application. And of course, there are applications in the traditional sciences like physics. Biology today, I would argue, is more a mathematical science than a life science increasingly. I mean, all the work that has gone into these vaccines has been to do with genetics and creating ways to replicate genomes quickly. And none of this would be possible without very advanced mathematics. So keep your mind open, embrace whatever you are exposed to, as the others have said, and take this opportunity to advance your understanding of mathematics. This is not the end, this is only the beginning. So what you learn in these 6 days, you should of course emphasize and reinforce by continuing to read and explore. The great thing about today compared to when we were students is that there is so much material available if you know what you're looking for, right? So the internet is full of excellent material on different topics. And once you know what you are interested in, there is no limit to what you can learn. And there is certainly no age limit. And as Anand said, the younger you start, the more you can explore these things and build up this confidence that you can solve problems. So I wish you an extremely enjoyable 6 days. I would have been very happy to have this opportunity when I was your age. Unfortunately, we did not, but somehow we managed to survive in the world of mathematics. I think that you have a head start. Make wise use of it. I do hope to see some of you at the camp in future years, but I also hope to see some of you as students at CMI in future years. And whatever you do, I hope that your interest in mathematics, I'm not saying that everybody who's interested in mathematics should become a professional mathematician of some sort. As we have seen, mathematics is all pervasive and it will help you in whatever you're doing. So I hope your interest in mathematics takes you to do great things in whatever you choose to do. So all the best, and good luck for the camp and good luck to the Ram Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhavan, for inspiring the young students. And thank you to all the dignitaries for taking out time from their busy schedules and being available for the event. We truly, truly appreciate it. I would like to thank Dr. Madhavan and CMI specifically for believing in us and supporting programs like these. Thank you to Nielsen IQ for sponsoring this program. It is only because of the generosity of donors like you that we are able to make this program available to so many students free of cost. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you, Vinay Raikar, for sponsoring the Zoom accounts for Raising a Mathematician training program. We appreciate your generosity. And a big, big thank you to all the parents, faculty, students, and volunteers. You know, just like a car cannot run without the 4 wheels, we could not have run this program together without the support of each of you. And last but not the least, thank you to all the 300 plus people watching the YouTube live right now from the different parts of the world. Thank you so much. We are so grateful to you. And with that, we have come to an end. I welcome all the students to this program and I wish them all the best for the next 7 days.
Shreyas, we can stop the YouTube streaming.
Yeah, streaming